So next up topic for discussion today in regards to transforming your physique and building a lean athletic physique with muscle and minimal body fat is talking about cardio for fat loss. Now this is a very common subject which people get completely wrong. Now a lot of this is because we live in a society where more is better. Now this couldn't be further from the truth, because in reality when it comes to you actually burning body fat and what we do with clients at CJ Coaching, you want to be doing as little cardio as possible whilst burning body fat. I'll explain to you now why. At the start of your fitness journey, you want to be eating as much food as possible whilst doing as least as possible, because your body's going to adapt to whatever you do. Now, as you go through this process and you start to drop body fat, and your body will probably start to slow down in terms of its basal metabolic rate, you'll need to make changes, which means you need to cut the calories a little bit, and you might need to increase your calorie output a little bit. So by calorie output, that's mainly going to come through exercise. So cardiovascular work would be one of them. So to give you an example, say at week 0 you're not doing any cardio, week 2 you might do 30 minutes twice a week, week 6 you might do 30 minutes 3-4 times a week. But if you started at day 1 doing an hour every single morning fasted, that would work like phenomenally well for a period, don't get me wrong. But when you get to 4 or 5 weeks and progress slows, what do you do then? Do you then do 2 hours cardio a day? Do you then do 3 hours cardio a day? That's where you have to really think about these things in terms of a longer macro perspective rather than a micro perspective. And this is one of the big mistakes I see with people when they do a photo shoot prep or contest prep. They're doing 2 hours of cardio every day. That should never happen, and that's only happening due to poor coaching or a lack of knowledge or a lack of patience, because the big thing we do with everyone is working on getting their metabolism working for them rather than against them, and get their body actually utilizing carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and turning over, so their body becomes a fertile environment for building muscle and burning fat. Now, when it comes to cardio, there's a couple of different variations I would recommend. So we use a nutrient at time approach, and we do essentially like a form of carb cycling, which we call the metabolic priming approach. Now with that, what we would do on the days you're training, if you were going to do cardio, we'd recommend list training. So that would be long steady state. So say 20-30 minutes on a cross trainer or Stairmaster doing a heart rate, say 120 to 140 beats per minute would be awesome. Something I'm a big fan of also is high intensity interval training. So we would do this on the days where you're not weight training, and it depends on your recovery capabilities. So that might look like, from practical terms, 5 to 10 minutes, say, warming up on Stairmaster or a bike or whatever you want to use, and then say 6 to 10 rounds on like an assault bike or a rowing machine of say 45 seconds flat out, 1 minute rest, repeat. And you would repeat that cycle for 6 to 10 minutes, and then do maybe 5 to 10 minutes to cool down on the Stairmaster or cross trainer again. Now we're doing that type of HIIT cardio to push our heart rate up as high as we can and then bring it down. So this has a twofold effect in terms of helping with fat loss. Number one, it allows us to have improved aerobic conditioning and muscular conditioning, which will allow us to train harder in the gym to create more of an adaptive response, which will help us build more muscle and also help us burn body fat. Number two, it helps with EPOC, which is our post-exercise energy oxygen consumption, which is basically our body's ability to basically burn more calories after the exercise by upregulating almost with metabolism. So those are the two things that have a huge amount of benefit. And also when you go back to doing the list cardio, and make that cardiovascular work so much easier for you, because your overall threshold of fitness is so much higher that you then jumping on a cross trainer for 20-30 minutes, like you could be breezing along, you might as well be asleep because it's so easy for you. And that's the goal, is you want everyone to look super fit, be super strong, and feel like an athlete, perform like an athlete, and you feel great and not just look great, which is really what we teach. So if this was helpful, please make sure that you like the video and hit subscribe, drop us a comment below, and we will see you in the next episode.